Alright, let me ask you a hypothetical. You're minding your own business, skipping down a meadow or something, magic portal shows up in front of you. Out comes Monkey D. Luffy, straw hats are optional, but Luffy shows up in front of you and says something devastating. Yeah, I could eat. What do you do from there? Hi everybody, I'm here like usual. This question stuck on my mind as I was watching One Piece recently. I just finished up Whole Cake Island. This became a question I got more and more interested in. So in specific, around the start of the Whole Cake Saga, Luffy and Chopper get in trouble for eating buildings and public property. This was enough for me to reflect on everything else. In terms of eating, animated characters or not, Luffy is an anomaly. In Alabasta, he eats a cart full of fruit in like 1/10 of a second. There's multiple times he's gobbled entire meat chunks with the bone still attached. He eats Sanji's yucky wet bento box out of friendship and also having a big bag the size of Rhode Island. Monkey D. Luffy simply likes to eat to a disproportionate level. I would like to imagine the gum gum fruit allows him to expand his organs so he can eat more, but generally in every arc you'll watch food be a motivation, a cause for celebration, or a moment of relief for him in specific. So let's say Luffy finds himself in the United States then, home of the most abhorrent abominations of the food that the world has to offer, quite literally existing where all cultures and loose ideas of food around the globe are being shoddily smashed together into entire empires of food chains or fusion food or whatever, or frozen meals. And would Luffy eat Domino's? Luffy likes a lot of food. He will eat the majority of things that are placed in front of him without much complaint. Like again, he's eaten buildings. He'll eat food off the ground or in the rain like a creature. If he saw orange chicken and fried rice in the dumpster, I wouldn't be shocked if it was gone in 10 seconds. Luffy's a very important and influential person and symbol, both in his world and ours. Making sure we provide him with the best possible food suited for him in the shortened amount of time we have is so very important in meeting his expectations. Getting on his good side is the intention, where we've witnessed him permanently alter entire countries in hours. We've watched him declare war on the world government, all in the act of friendship. Regardless of whatever's provided to him, even if it's just like the Wendy's 4-for-4, he will be willing to fight the world on our behalf. So I think it's fair to provide him with the best suited meal for him. In order to pick the perfect American fast food experience for the future King of the Pirates, first we gotta determine what he likes based on what we know. Most obvious things are his most and least favorite foods. Across over 1,000 chapters, there's only really 4 things Luffy's refused or been unable to eat. I feel like his taste buds are withered away or really different, but whatever. In Skypiea, he eats a melon that's really hard, can't eat it. In Alabasta, he tries and fails to eat the inedible dance powder, can't eat it. The devil fruits are continuously established across the story to taste awful, but to be fair, you get cool powers. It's worth eating to get turned into a giraffe. But the most obvious example, the thing we know Luffy hated, was the cherry pie in Mocktown in the Jaya arc. It's literally the moment that introduces Blackbeard as the opposite to Luffy, as foils to each other, almost emphasizing how despite their similarities, they couldn't be any more different. It's the only time we see Luffy eat cherry pie. He specifically emphasizes this cherry pie tastes so bad he could die. So either it was him confirming his hate for cherry pie, or it's the pie in specific that sucked. Maybe he doesn't like artificial fruit stuff or baked foods, or I don't really think that cherry pie is gonna be a major attribute. Maybe if just Cheesecake Factory have cherry pie, don't go there then, I guess. Next up, favorite food, obviously meat. Basically all meat, though Luffy has a specific interest in like this meat on a stick thingy. It's like a chicken drumstick and a hard-boiled egg and whatever other meats get slammed together into a fun little horrifying meat popsicle full of protein and possibly even regret. We can use this to already cut out some weak options to get food ASAP. I'm not driving Luffy to a tropical smoothie. If I'm gonna be driving him in my 2011 Honda Civic as he freaks out about cars existing, because like how often do we see cars in One Piece, doesn't matter, we're gonna go somewhere reliable. We are also gonna remove one of the most viable options, McDonald's. McDonald's stands out as a fun outlier in the sense that this food is something we've seen Luffy order from actually. A while back, there was a promotional piece where a bunch of anime characters ordered off the breakfast menu, and this is blasphemy for Luffy. Like, this is an outrage. You mean to tell me that Luffy goes to the burger place that gives burgers and shit, and Luffy's known for like eating those and liking those and just eating a lot of food, and all he gets is a single steak, egg, and cheese bagel with extra meat? That's it? Luffy either has no money to afford this, or one of the other Straw Hats would be ordering it for him, so it wouldn't be under his name. Nami or Sanji or Robin or even Usopp would be ordering the food on his behalf. This doesn't make any sense. This shouldn't be under his name. This is an outrage. And to make it worse, this one show that my only impression of is this promotional art and the Fortnite skin, Kaiju number 8. This freak orders 8 Egg McMuffins, 8 McGriddles, 8 steak, egg, and cheese bagels, bagels, 8 hot cakes, 8 big breakfasts, 8 hash browns, 8 sausage biscuits, 8 sausage burritos, and 8 coffees, but Luffy only got 1 item? That one thing? Hell no! He's either stealing food from the back or has his order stolen from that kaiju number 8 guy or something. We are not gonna make him relive anything adjacent to that waste of time. Instead, we're gonna consider KFC. I knew that some sort of chicken place would be a good option to consider. I think this or Popeyes is a fair deal. I would imagine Luffy enjoying a nice bucket of chicken as I explained to him, my enemies, that he needs to help destroy on my behalf. I'm not fond of Europe. Luffy would destroy them all for us if they were bad. There's just a lot of food that I think Luffy would be fond of in a chicken location. Fried chicken, chicken tenders, chicken nuggets, mac and cheese, mashed potatoes. I would eat the coleslaw for him. I'm white. That's like super serum for white people. 2 major complications come from a chicken place like this. Popeyes isn't so bad, but KFC in specific, I feel like the food takes a long time to come out. I mean, there's more things to worry about besides the food itself, like how fast is the food gonna be made and how much is it gonna cost. We need to make sure that we provide the best food and the most food in the fastest possible time. Chicken places tend to be a little bit more pricey. Orders aren't the fastest, but it would more than likely create a good, yummy, tasty food, yummy, good time. Of course, there's a couple more chicken places, namely Chick-fil-A and Raising Cane's, but the former has an average food prep time and is totally too expensive for the optimal Luffy experience. But Raising Cane's, I'd say that was like maybe like an appetizer, you know, nothing major. Let's give the boy a Caniac combo. Breaks me to say a little bit, but with the exception of maybe Little Caesars, I don't think any pizza place would really be worth it for Luffy. He's gonna be able to eat the entire pizza frisbee in like 0.4 seconds. I don't encourage investing the time or money in any of these because pizzas, you know, they're expensive and they take a long time to make. No Jets, no Hungry Howie's, maybe some local place if you got like good bang for your buck. Otherwise, we shouldn't take the risk. And I'm 100% not hitting up Panera Bread, dude. The only possible reason I would go is to watch Luffy drink that banned lemonade they made that one time. It's so simple. He likes meat. We want to give him meat. He likes tasty meat food, not bread bowls. He deserves better. Like imagine Luffy going to a Chuck E. Cheese. I think taking any ancient or other world being to a Chuck E. Cheese when they don't exist in their respective realm, that's such a funny idea. I want to see what happens if we brought a little pilgrim boy to the future and made him see animatronics in person. I have a good argument for Taco Bell, actually. It's commonly considered one of the cheaper food options. It usually doesn't take too long to order unless you try to go at like 3 a.m. Please don't go at 3 a.m. The Taco Bell menu as a whole is pretty wacky. Like, I want to appease our king, Luffy. I feel like Taco Bell has a great variety in food options for what it costs. Plenty of satisfying options. Straight up, Taco Bell is a top 3 contender. And beyond that, I feel like there's a couple major remaining candidates for Luffy's ideal fast food spot. First up, sandwich places. Firehouse Subs, Subway, Jimmy John's. Relatively large foods at a relatively good price. You can't go all too wrong here. Plus, in the situation of Subway, he can make his own sandwich, but at the same time, maybe he just orders like an unholy amount of sides and toppings and then gets in a fight with the worker. There's also the risk of the food being out to begin with the workers. Luffy's been prone to eating other people's meals just because he can. For example, in G8, he does that very specific thing with, I forgot the one guy, but he like steals the meatballs. I feel like no matter where we go, Luffy's gonna cause some sort of problem, but stealing olives over the counter is kind of lame. I'm not too fond of that one. I would rather him like, wait, let's take Luffy to Waffle House. I'm serious. Let's take Luffy to a Waffle House. Maybe at Denny's, get some yummy, tasty, scrumptious breakfast meals. I mean, it would take a while for the food to come out, but that increases the odds of something funny happening. Fast food brawls can happen at any place or any time given the moment. Like the first time I went to Penn Station on a vacation, Penn Station vacation, saw a fist fight while eating, and I felt like one of my ancestors, you know? I felt like I was in the Roman Colosseum, dude. The first time you witness a fast food brawl, that changes you. That's a canon event. That's necessary. It's crucial in one's development for the average North American, because again, Europe can't have nice things, just gray skies and bicycle lanes and clock towers. Actually, bike lanes seem pretty cool. I wish America had more bike lanes. You know what? America's full of fun little food stops, but we gotta look beyond just the most common and well-known several fast food places that exist, the several dozen. Oh my god, we really, do we have that many? What even is a Long John Silver's, dude? I think that Monkey D. Luffy would have a fantastic time in a 7-Eleven or any gas station convenience party store type of location. There's many abhorrent little concoctions of food and wonder that we've somehow managed to make. I think Luffy would like a Twinkie. He would really enjoy like Skittles or a Mountain Dew Slurpee. That's the urban life over here, you know? Some stale Mega Mix Mike and Ike's maybe. Let's let him mess around with a lottery ticket. Luffy is full of whimsy, but has indulgent endurance and capacity. I want to see how Luffy would react to a vape, but I'd feel really bad if he builds anything adjacent to a nicotine addiction. This or Buc-ee's? I would imagine he'd be quite fond of going to Buc-ee's. It's like Willy Wonka's redneck factory. It's a checkpoint. It's debatably the definitive American experience. This or dirt bike stunts, one or the other or both. Next up in Las Vegas, there's a famous place called Heart Attack Grill. It's widely considered the most unhealthy American food chain of the sort. Its whole gimmick is that you gotta like dress up in a hospital gown and get this unholy amalgamation of burger or food or whatever. The calorie counts are high, the daily values are inconsistent. There's literally one that's 20,000 calories. Luffy would love this, but this is like a one and done situation. You don't go here twice. You go for the fact that it's a commodity. This is a place you would go to in a specific situation. If you become long-term friends with Luffy, like mentioned it as a place as a running joke among your friend group for months to years until eventually going to see it. Like this is a place that lets people over 350 pounds eat for free. This is crazy. This kind of reminds me of medieval times, and dude, there's one kind of nearby my house. I really want to go to one of these. I guarantee you the food would be whatever, and I'm assuming it smells bad because there's like a giant arena place with horses, but you eat in like these high tables with like turkey legs and chalices and get to watch actors do cool night shit. And this sounds so fun. This sounds like the ultimate boys side quest activity. I would kill to go to this one. And the last more unique option that came up would have to be Rodizio. I think that's how you pronounce it. I've actually never been to one of these, but I got recommended by a friend to put this onto the list. My logic feels somewhat logical, technically, I think. To clarify, Oda himself has stated that Luffy, if he was in our world, he would be Brazilian, right? Rodizio's like this Brazilian steakhouse. It's all you can eat. Put the pieces together. I think you know what I'm getting at. If I counted correctly though, there's only 20 or so of these places in the country, and unless you're able to get one in like relatively close proximity, like the ones in Florida or Milwaukee or California, I don't know if Luffy would be able to drive that far. In general, buffets like this one are probably gonna be the most worth it, but I don't know if that would be cheating or not. And I thought, hey, this is a cool idea. I like this one. Let's bring up the possibility of buffets at the very least. You know, maybe a Golden Corral is a viable option. The magical thing with this hypothetical situation is that there's technically no wrong answer, but there are ones that are more correct. And of all places, of all the options that come to my mind, none, and I mean none, are as good of an option as Arby's. This right here is probably one of the best options you can have for Luffy food adventures. Consider the slogan, look at the menu, watch the commercials. It's the best choice. If you look up the menu right now, it literally says, we have the meats. That's the slogan. They have the meats. Luffy's favorite food, regardless of the quality, regardless if it's wet in the rain, it's still his favorite food. You got chicken, roast beef, burgers. I don't even know what steak nuggets are. They're just cooking animals and seeing what happens. All of it comes out at a good enough deal. Shouldn't take all too long for the food to be ready. This is the optimal outcome. And to make it even better, it's Arby's. And nobody likes Arby's, so there will be so much extra food for Luffy to eat and enjoy. Like, there's nothing good on the Arby's menu besides the curly fries, the chicken tenders, and the milkshake, all of which you can get at plenty of other establishments and not for too many differences. By default, Luffy going to Arby's is the most logical answer in this situation, full stop. But ultimately, it doesn't matter because my friend Egghead exists. Dr. Vegapunk was able to instantly make a good ass burger and fries combo, and it was delicious. It looked great. We're not beating that. That's like infinite food. The entire continental United States pales in comparison to an anime equivalent of the instant meal invention in Spy Kids. It was over before it even started. Luffy had that Egghead burger, and I'm afraid nothing's gonna top that, and that's okay. What do you think Luffy's favorite fast food place would be? I really think this or a random Midwestern gas station. I would love to talk it out in the comments below. Subscribe, please check out the channel. And now I'm gonna go to Panda Express because oh my god, that orange chicken sounds so unbelievably good right now.